Hello guys, what is up? This is about Jax and I think you already know there is an event coming up in Master Rule, that is Synchro and XYZ Festival. In this event you can only play Synchro and XYZ cards, I can say monsters. Other than that you cannot play any extra deck cards like Links, Fusion. So I think branded Despia players will be very disappointed because they cannot play their newest deck. So as always I am here with some of the best decks to play in this event. So if you don't know what decks to play, if you are not sure, then you should watch this full video. Your confusion will be clear. So I'll give you the decks, but before that, if you haven't subscribed this channel yet, you should subscribe right now. Turn on the notification bell on so when I upload any video you can watch that first. Our target is 100 subscribers, so help me reach the target as soon as possible. So watch the full video. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go straight into our first deck. So in my opinion, best deck in this event will be Virtual Worlds. This deck is very well known because of summoning True King of all calamities. I think many of you are already familiar with this deck, but True King is already banned in Master Duel, so we don't need to think about that. But still, this deck is very powerful. It can summon Synchro and XYZ monsters both. If you want to have a feel of this event, you want to summon XYZ and Synchro monsters both, then you can play this deck. But if you don't have many of the cards of this deck, you want to build this deck from the scratch, then I will say I am not recommending that, because this deck is not that powerful right now and there are many other decks that are much better than this deck. Speaking of better decks in ladder, let's go to our next deck, Swordsoul. This deck is very powerful. You already know how Swordsoul work. I already made a separate video on that. You can watch that after this video. But in this event you can't play any Link monsters, so Monk of the Tenny is out of the option. That's why in this deck list I am not using any Tenny cards. You can still use them, but that will be very difficult because only non-effect monster in your deck will be the tokens that you summon from the effect of your Swordsoul monsters. So you can replace Tenny monster with other Swordsoul cards or other generic worm monsters. Also you can play more hand traps in place of them. So let's go to a third deck on the list, that is pure Zodiac deck. So I think most of you are already familiar with this deck because of Zodiac Tri-Brigade. In this deck you have all the Zodiac cards and all the Zodiac XYZ monsters, and if you don't know how Zodiac work, in this archetype you can XYZ summon with only one card. So technically with only one card you can make a very powerful XYZ monster, that is AA Zeus Sky Thunder. That in itself make this deck very powerful. So in my opinion these three decks are best to play in this event, but there are many other decks you can play in this festival because festival is for fun, and if you are having fun with other decks you can play them like Adam Emancipator or Dinos. But there is a bonus deck that I want to show you. If you don't have any decks that I showed in this video, if you don't want to build any expensive deck, then you can go for this because this deck is very cheap, and the deck is P.U.N.K OTK. I already made a separate video of this deck. You can watch that video after this one. This deck revolves around P.U.N.K card. You can summon that card and equip bunch of equip spell with that and go for OTK. Obviously the deck name is P.U.N.K OTK. So you can play this deck in this event. So that is it for today guys. If you like this video you should press the thumbs up button also, and if you want to watch more Master Rule content like this you can subscribe this channel and also press the bell icon so when I upload any video you can watch that first. Our target is 100 subscribers, so help me reach that target as soon as possible. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.